All right, family, greetings to you all and welcome to the channel. It's your brother Prince Ayoko, streaming live from Tamale, Northern Ghana. How are you doing and how is your day going? How is your night and how is our families at your side doing? Um, as usual, as you already know, you know, I'm sending a very peaceful and lovely, you know, prayers to all of us, including me, that whoever is going through any kind of challenges in life, I pray that the ancestors and the Almighty God will take them out of the challenges. And whoever is going through a lot of situations in life that is kind of, you know, hard, I pray that each and every one will be released from this, pressures, as well as whoever is going through any kind of, battles in their life with regards to their finances, with regards to, their health, and so on. I pray that the Almighty God and our ancestors will definitely, you know, um, help us get out of this situation because it's just so hard. It's just so hard for us to battle with, and it's so hard for us to, uh, deal with in life. And sometimes in life, there are certain things in life that happens for a reason. So to each and every one of you who is with me right now, battling with so many situations and so on, I pray that the Almighty God and our ancestors will take you out of the situation and will release you from that pressure. So tonight is a night of what I'll call what is worrying with this younger generation. What is this problem that is going on with this our younger generation? When I say our younger generation, it includes me and you. You understand? It includes the elderly, the youth, and the babies. So it's a big question that I put on our table for us to all discuss and to learn from each other with regards to what is happening in this current generation. So before I start this conversation, I want to extend my warmest greetings to Sister Joyce Belvis. Blessed love to you, my sister. Um, as you know, Africa is Africa, black is black. You understand? Africa is Africa, black is black. There's no difference between Africa and black, and there's no difference between the black and Africa. Africa is what carries the black. Africa is the load to the black race, as in general. So, and therefore, if we are talking about anything with regards to Africa, it has to do with us as black people. And, sometimes we don't just have to sit idly and look at the situation that is going on with the black race, especially this generation, and then we'll decide to be quiet. Like, if we are quiet or when we are quiet, where are we heading towards to? Where are we heading to? You understand? Where are we heading to in life? And what are we actually doing in life as black people, especially this generation? This generation, to me, if anyone asks me, that what is the worst generation that the black race has ever had in history, in the history of the world, I mean, what kind of, bad generation that the black race has ever encountered, I will say this generation, this particular generation, is the worst generation that the black race has ever, had. Either you like what I'm saying, this particular generation, that is the worst generation. But it isn't everyone was. Of contribution that you have, you can put that on the comment section for us to deal with the situation on the ground. Just look at this particular generation right now. A parent will give birth to a child. When the child becomes a teenager, the parents don't have control over the child again. That's number one. Number two, when you give birth to a child in this generation, it has to take you to pay for the school fees of the child. It has to take you to, you know, deal with the law with regards to bringing up the child. It also has to take you a lot of situations with regards to, who you want your child to be and who they want, whom they want to be. So now let's say, for example, I have given birth to a child and the child is growing up at age 2, 3, 4, 5, or any age. I will take the child to school. When I take the child to school, whatever I have to teach the child, I don't have access to that again, because the child has to be taken care of at school. The child has to be taught whatever way they want to live in life at school. So if these children is being brainwashed at the school and they come back home and I say, hey, okay, fine, you are back from school. Can you accompany me to the farm? And my child will say no. And I'll say, why? But we get our food from the farm. So why don't you want to accompany me for us to go and work at the farms after you come back from school? Or maybe in the weekends, if the child is not going to school, then I'll say, let's go to the farm. And the child will say, Daddy, I can't go to the farm without any reason. When I apply a little force to the child to go to the farm, then they will take me to, to the courts. Child abuse, child labor. This is what I'm telling you. There's a whole lot of things that is going on in this generation. If we are going to touch bases on whatever is going on in this generation, at the end of it, it will just be laughter. You will just laugh at it. But thing that worries me the most, one thing that worries me the most about this generation is that, you see, we call ourselves black people. We always say that we want to live a self-sufficient life. We always say that we want to live an independent life. And we always say like we want to live like the life of our ancestors. First of all, do you know what took our ancestors to be self-sufficient? Do you know how it took our ancestors to be self-sufficient in life? Do you really know it? Do you really know what is called independence and self-sufficiency in life? These are big questions. Sorry, just sipping my Lipton. This is what I'm telling you. Sometimes we are black people, but we don't act like we are black. We always act like we are the people who has brought us up this way. I'm talking about colonialism. I'm talking about brainwashing. And I'm talking about the white man law. You understand? This is the time for us to come back to our senses. This is the time for us to come back to our roots. And this is the time that we have to come back to be who we are as black people, and not trying to be beaten about the bushes, trying to find out who we are, whilst who we are is just in front of us as black people. Look, in Africa, when you come to Africa as someone who lives in the West, like in America, in the Caribbean, in Asia, and in other parts of the world, when you come to Africa, everything is different. Everything in Africa is different. 100% different. Look, we have the way we bring up our children. We have the way we have a process to our marriages. We have a process of how we live with the elderly. We have a process of how we live with the community, or with people in the community. We have a process of how we live with our families in our compounds. there is a way of how we live in everything with regards to African traditions, not only the Dagbon traditions, but African traditions as in general. I'm generalizing it. When you come to Africa and you meet an old man or an old woman trying to cross the road with loads in their hands or with loads in their heads, no matter how busy you are, you have to leave your busy time, take their load that they are carrying, and help them to cross the road safely and peacefully. And then you come back for your for whatever things that you want to do. That's one thing. Respecting the elderly is number one priority in Africa. Respecting the elderly. Now, number two, in Africa, we have spiritual elders in Africa. These particular spiritual elders in Africa that we have, they are the one that takes care of the land spiritually. They are the ones that, take care of the gods to the land. They are the ones that makes divinations. They are the ones that has, but then there's one thing that I want to share with you tonight. Each elder in our communities has got a role and responsibility. You understand? One elder doesn't do everything. One particular elder in our communities doesn't do anything. So when you are someone who is very, indigenous in the northern culture, in the northern Ghanaian culture, not only the Dagbon culture, but in the northern Ghanaian culture as in general, we have people who are seers. We call them seers. In Dagbani, we call them Basi. Basi, that is seers, people who makes divinations. These people are very unique. They are very special. They can see from afar. But I'm going to share with you something tonight. Money and civilization has spoiled everything here in Dagbon, has spoiled everything here in Ghana, has spoiled everything here in Africa. It isn't every seer who is qualified to be a seer. It isn't every person who does divinations who are qualified to do divinations. In the Dagbanle culture or in the Dagbon culture and traditions, we are having people who are qualified to be diviners. Not everyone. So and therefore, you have to take note of this, especially when you're dealing with divination. You understand? And then, thirdly, there are so many things here in northern Ghana that tallies, that goes hand in hand with the cultures in southern Ghana. And that is our chieftaincy, own inner cycle, to see exactly what the results of the divination is. The person cannot tell you everything about yourself, but the person will be able to determine or to tell you whatever it is. That thing and they impregnate the woman, then it becomes a burden to the extended family. So if the extended family is not able to support, then at the end of the day, when the woman gives birth to the child, that's where you see the children end up on the streets. You understand? No support from home. And then you see this current generation. We are so lazy that there are some portions in life that we have to put our focus on that we don't do. We don't do it. In the days of our ancestors, whenever you see an ancestor to be proud of who they are in those days, it means that they were having so much farmlands that they farm to feed their own families. They were having so much animals that they can sell for money. they were having so much businesses with regards to agriculture. Agriculture, they were based so much. Their focus was being so much on agriculture. But now let's just look at this current generation. You will see someone who is sitting home idly, doing nothing. And even when you call them to come and learn work that can benefit them, when they come from the first day, second day, third day, they run away because they feel like the work is so hard for them. Not knowing that your youthful age is the time that you have the energy. And that is the time that you have to use this energy. You understand? That is exactly the time that we have to use this energy to uplift Mama Africa. Just look at what is going on around the world. The youth are killing each other each and every day without any concrete reason. They are not in a battlefield. They are not in war. They are killing each other just because of, drug business, drug deals. They are on the streets killing each other like fowls. You understand? Killing each other like fowls. And whenever this happens, you know what? They take them to jail forever, for the rest of their life. They take them to jail. Young, energetic men, young, energetic women. The youth of Africa, the black youth, as in general, is fading out just in the name of shortcuts of making money. Now, when we go to our prisons each and every day, let's count the number of youth, just you know, living in those prisons, rotting in those prisons. And let's look at the kind of development that our continent wants. And at the end of the day, when I look at all of this, I'll ask myself, what is happening to this generation? What is happening? Are we lost? Are we dying? What is actually going on with us in this current generation? It's just so unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate that, we encountering these problems in this current generation. Because this is the time that Mama Africa needs we, the generation. And this is the time that we are also killing Mama Africa. As a youth in Africa, or as, African people, either you are from the diaspora, either you are from the Caribbean, either you are from Asia, or either you are from, the continent of Africa. I mean, either you live here in the continent of Africa. There's a whole lot of things that we do that can never build Mama Africa that we all want to build. If we take this life generation, the children that we're giving birth to, our grandchildren, and our upcoming generations, it's going to be a very big downfall to all of them. And not to all of them, but to we, this current generation as well. Let me come to the comment section and we'll see what is going on with our brothers. Our sister Snovia Rayleigh, blessed love to you. My sister, how are you doing? And how is our families at your side doing? I guess you're doing well. And I pray that, you'll be safe. I pray that the Almighty God and our ancestors will continue to protect you from whatever is going on at your place. Sister Sinovia really said, Prince Ayoko, the African American family started breaking down over 20 years ago. This is sad. Mama is business said these people will knock you down here if you hold and in the way. You see, that's so sad. That's so sad for an elderly person not to be able to, get help from the and she's replying to Mama's Benis guy, his family, their life. Family, greetings to you. Blessed love to you. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. If we are dealing with life like we are in the jungle, you understand? If we are in life dealing with life like we are in the jungle, the end of it is not gonna be okay with us. When we are dealing with our lives like we are in the jungle, you know how in this jungle when you go, there's lions, there's monkeys, there's birds, there's elephants, there's crocodiles, there's all kind of these wild animals, stronger animals, weaker animals, birds and so on living together. And in this kind of jungle, only the toughest survives. You understand? Welcome on board, Sister Naturally Organic. Blessed love to you and our families at your side. I always love your garden. So now this is what I'm talking about. When we go to the jungle, when we let's take a trip to the jungle and see what is happening. You see the weaker ones depending on the you see the stronger ones depending on the weaker ones. And now, as a matter of fact, this particular vanity world that we're in right now is just what it is. It is we are in the jungle. Now, our world has turned to a jungle where the stronger ones depends on the weaker ones. Where the stronger ones depends on the weaker ones. It's because we are lost. We are lost. And we never want to admit that we are lost. We never like even people who are bringing us to the right path. All we do is insult them. All we do is to insult them. All we do is to bring down their names, their image, and so on. Now, look at these previous elders. Elder Marcus Garvey, Elder Malik El Comex, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Emperor Haile Selassie, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, Patrick Lumumba, Thomas Sankara. Let's look at all these elders. Let's look at all these leaders. And what they did for Mama Africa. Let's just look at what they did. If we are going to be so obedient and, listen to these elders, I don't think this generation would have been living this way. If we are going to be 100% rich about, building the next generation, our being focused would have helped us. Being focused and sticking to the messages of these elders would have helped us a lot. Because now in the Western world, you don't have these elders again. You don't have these elders again who can come out publicly to sacrifice their life in the name of building you and I, especially to some of you who are in the West. They're not there again. But whatever they told us when they were alive is what is going on now. It's what is going on. There are certain issues, always when I share it with you, I always tell you, that if you, when you want, you should take what I'm saying, and when you want, don't take it. You understand? Either you take it or you don't take it. I will tell you. That's my part. I'll remind you. I'll just remind you of who we are. You understand? Because that is what we have to do to bring back each other to the light, or to light. You understand? Just look at life here. Just look at life right now. Take me as an example right now. This is a village that I'm living here. It's a big community in Tamale. It is a village near Tamale that I'm living in right now. The youth are over there playing. I'm here just in front of my apartment, sharing this with you tonight, enjoying my mango, my naturally organic mango, and then sipping my Lipton. You understand? This is pure self-sufficiency. This is what we want as Black people, whereby you can live in a community with freedom, no gunshots, no look. It can take you up to 100 years in this community and you will never hear any kind of gunshots. You understand? Simple, peacefully. No one is bothering the other, or no one is disturbing the peace. You understand? All what you have to do is to just enjoy your nature and live peacefully. Whenever you are tired at the end of it, and no one will say, hey, Prince Ayoko, why are you coming here to do this? Why are you coming to my compound to do this? Why are you coming to my house to do this? Or why are you coming this particular place to do this? No one will ask me. You understand? Peace. We are living here very peacefully. No disturbance. No disturbance. But now, just look at what is going on in the West. Yesterday, I watched a video on YouTube, and a father and a son was chasing each other with guns. And they were not just chasing each other with empty guns. Their magazines were fully loaded. The son was shooting the father, and the father was shooting the son. But you see, the most fortunate thing was that none of them were good shooters. So no one was able to get, to target the one or to aim the other one very well. Now I'm going to tell you, you see here, when a son tried this to the father, the son will not be killed. But the kind of punishment that the son will go through, after the punishment, the son will never try something like that again. The son will never try something like that again. There are certain things it can only happen in the West, but not here. But I'm going to share with you something tonight. When two brothers fight each other to death, a stranger takes away their property. So be very mindful of what is going on in the West, especially to those of us, to those of you, our brothers and sisters who are living over there. Be very careful and mindful of how you bring up your children. Please, it is not, all of us cannot just sit and watch the generation die. We have to protect the generation. We have to protect the generation. And by protecting the generation, We have to put down measures as to how we bring up our children. We have to go back to our roots as to how we were brought up. Look, I'm going to tell you something tonight. To those of you who will be very humble, who will be very sincere to me and to the, the family in the chat. Well, we are going to tell each other the truth about the way we were brought up. Now, let's say children who were brought up from the 80s down to the late 90s, down till 90. The way we were brought up is different from the children who were being born in the year 2000 up to date. It's so different, very, very, very different. And it's so different because we are still failing to know who we are before we give birth to these children. There are certain children that does some things in life that I don't blame. Children who were being born on the streets and brought up on the streets, these children are so different. So when they do anything, I don't blame them so much because they did not get any proper care in life. You understand? They wasn't brought at home. They wasn't brought up at home. They weren't born at home. You understand? It's different. But to some of you who still stick to your way of life in the right way, trust me, please put some, some kind of senses in the minds of your children. Put some kind of good morals, in the minds of your children. Bring up your children very well. Try as much as you can, even though we know the white man law is so hard to deal with regards to bringing up these children. But at least just find a way of bringing up these children so that the future generation will not be messed like this generation. You understand? So please, my brothers and sisters, I'm appealing to all of you who are responsible. It takes a responsible parent to do this, to work this out at your various homes. It's so sad and pathetic for the black race to be going through this kind of life, in this world. So to any one of you who has contributions with regards to this topic, you can bring it up so that we'll all talk about it. Because I'm almost wrapping up the show. Let me know what is going on. After the mango, I'm now sipping my tea with some northern Ghana snack that we call kuli kuli. Yeah. So kuli kuli is made from groundnut paste. It's made from peanut paste. I'm gonna make a video about it sometime, either this week or next week. So when they do it, this is how it looks. That's kuli kuli. We call it kuli kuli. Kuli kuli is Kuli kuli kuli. So it's made from peanut paste, and it's kind of snack here that children like so much, and it tastes so good. So you can you can eat it with your tea. You can eat it just by itself, and you can also just eat it with whatever drink you have, either fruit drink or whatever, and it's so good, but it's so crunchy. When we were children at school in the early 90s, somewhere around 92, 91, 92, 93, that way, there was this song that goes like, Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy. Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy, but I have no money. Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy. Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy. Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy, but I have no money. Kuli Kuli is calling me to come and buy. So today, Kuli Kuli has reminded me of the song. So, family, this is what I'm telling you. Let's be very, you know, real to ourselves, and let's all, you know, wake up and live as black people. And let's not try to make the future generation worse, because this generation is dying. You understand? So, let me come back to the comment section. Never trust son of man said, never trust son of man. King James said from Canada. Greetings, my brother. Greetings to you from Tamale, Northern Ghana. And Sister Evelyn Gosi said mango. Yeah, I was enjoying mango, and I still have a couple of mangoes, yeah, at my refrigerator. Never trust son of man. King James says simplicity. Yes, simplicity is what we can use to survive. If we make ourselves so big, it will be very hard for us to survive. And brother, never trust son of man. King James said, no one pulled you over. No one pulled you over. I don't understand what you mean by no one pulled me over. Yeah, Sister Yevlik said contact is breaking. Yeah, I was having problem with the network. Yeah, and now I guess the network is good. TK said, I miss Ngaparo so much. Can't wait to return for good. I would love to come visit you at such time in the near future, Prince Ayoko. You always welcome. And what do you mean by Ngaparo? Ngaparo. Is Ngaparo the name of a town, or is the name to something? And Synovia really said fun song. Yeah, that song was so fun. Kuli Kuli. That was the title to the song, Kuli Kuli. So, you see what I'm saying? This particular generation is a very serious generation, but we don't take this generation as serious like we have to. You understand? You see, when we look at the entire continent of Africa, officially we are being freed from colonialism. But when we come to the mindsets and everything, we are still being colonized. Because every African country has got a leader who is being elected by the people. You understand? So now democracy is our colonialism, our present day colonialism, democracy. But when we put aside democracy and politics and then come to our indigenous way of living, there's so many ways that we can also live, that can help this generation. But we always fail to do that. We always fail to do that. We fail to do that because we don't want to know who we are. And we don't want to live the exact life of who we are. So, and therefore, we'll keep beating about the bush. And before you realize, we'll be gone. And the next generation will take over. But that will be the worst generation. I pray so much that what we are going through in this generation, the upcoming generation will not go through that. Else, it's going to be the end of the black race. And it's so painful when I say the end of the black race. Trust me, it's so painful. It's very, very painful. And we don't even think about those who will come after us. If we are still alive, doing whatever we're doing in this world, knowing that some people will come after us, and we never try to do anything, to put down, to put up solid foundation for the generations that is coming after us. All what we their inheritance each and every day. I want to remind you, if you forget, that whatever we're doing in this world, whatever life we're living in this world, is a property generation. I'm reminding me and all of you to be mindful of that. That whatever we're doing on in this world with regards to our living, with regards to our investments, with regards to everything, we are not going to be here to benefit from it forever. The upcoming generations has to take over. We have to finally hand over to them when we are gone. So, and therefore, any legacy that we're living behind for them has to be at least a little bit better. At least a little bit better. Else, when we fail to leave this for them, it will be bad for them. And when it's bad for them, we have created it. When it's good for them, we have created it. So let's be mindful of what we're doing in this life with regards to our next generations. I'm always here. I'll tell you the truth. I'll let you know what's supposed to do to uplift these generations. I'm always focused about the next generation, because this generation is already messed up. it's already messed up. So the best thing that we can do for now is to focus a little bit on this generation, and then put all our focus on the next generation. I think that will be much better if we do that. It will be much better if, when we plan a little bit for our children and plan bigger for our grandchildren, our great grandchildren, our great grandchildren. You understand? That would be much better. That would be like so much better. And that will be very helpful to the next generation, especially with regards to the mentality. You see, not the financial aspect of it, but the mentality aspect of it. Of, living a good legacy for the next generation. The mentality aspect of it will be so good. And by doing that, you have to do it at home. I have to do it at my home. They have to do it at their homes. You understand? It's a collective responsibility. Never trust son of man. King James said, "You are home in Africa, relaxing. No one will bother you. No one will bother you. In the West, when you are driving, you get pulled over by the police." That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. But the most saddest and the most unfortunate part of it is that when people are going through this in the West and they come to Africa, they don't want to live like us. They don't want to live like us. They want to still live like they are in the West. You understand? This is the truth, and this is the bare facts. Not everyone, but to some people, that's how they come here and live. You understand? I have to make this clear. Not everyone, but the majority of people, when they come to Africa, they still want to live like they are in the West. I don't know. Sometimes if they have forgotten that they were once in the plane coming to Africa. I don't know. So family, TK said small town in Senegal where we stay when we visit. Oh, okay, okay. Um, TK, thank you so much for sharing about that. The name to the small town. Thank you so much. Those areas is just like northern Ghana. It's a savannah area where you know the place is quite sunny at in the afternoon and warm at night. Sorry, and kind of normal at night, not so warm, and so on. So family, this is just a little bit of what I have to share tonight. It's so much. It's so much, and I can't tell you everything. At least you also know the majority of what I'm saying. But all what I'm saying is that let's try as much as we can to build a very formidable and concrete generation. You understand? Let's try to build up the mindset, and let's try to just leave a good legacy for the next generation. That will be very good. And I already told you, by doing this, I have to do it at my home. You have to do it at your home. Each and everyone has to do it. It's a collective responsibility. It doesn't have to take any politician to do this for us. It doesn't have to take any person to do this for us, but we have to do it. You understand? It is up to us to do it. Thank you so much for coming along. Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and and thank you so much for hanging around with me for us to have this important conversation. We'll come out with subsequent conversations with regards to this particular issue. We will not leave it. We will continue to talk about this until thy kingdom comes. That's what I mean. When I say thy kingdom comes, we will continue to talk about this till we're gone. You understand? A warrior is not afraid when they know they are fighting the right battle. A warrior is not afraid when they know they are defending their people. A warrior is not afraid to lose their life when they know that they are sacrificing their life for other people. You understand? Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and your comments. Please stay focused, stay positive, do whatever you can to uplift the next generation as well as some of this particular generation, and let's all do our best in bridging the gap between this generation and the next generation. Stay blessed.